Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and this is another card challenge. The Atlantic card challenge number 516 and the Color Dare color challenge number 538. And using my mini gnome, garden gnomes again. Here we go. Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and I am going to make another challenge card today. I'm going to use some of our Irresistible papers and these four colors, Sage, Periwinkle, Melon, and Glacier. And that is from the Color Dare color challenge. So I'm kind of combining a Atlantic Heart Sketch Challenge number 516 and the Color Dare color challenge number 538 to make this card. And I wanted to use my Irresistibles. I'm not really using these sheets as much as I would like to. And so I thought, okay, this is a great way to make a patterned paper in the color that I want. So you've got all these different patterns to choose from, plaid and flowers and dots and stripes and stars. And what's the other one? I forget what the other one is. We'll find out. So I'm using my little sponge daubers, and oh, it's a big block plaid, like a buffalo plaid, kind of big squares. So I'm using my sponge daubers, and I'm kind of catching the edges a lot so that they're a little more defined, so the ink kind of gets into the edge. There's the block that I was talking about. So that's the Sage ink pad. So it's kind of fun to do this, I have to tell you. You're kind of putting all this ink on it, and these designs don't take anything up. So I'm just wiping off any excess that might be on the resistible parts. So they really are fun. Now I love this plaid. That is just so cool. So you could use the stars for a background of skies. You know, I mean, you could use these, the dots could be a snowstorm with snow pictures in front of it. I mean, there's all sorts of ideas. You could use them as a background for a little frame for pictures. You know, it's very, they're very versatile. Why I'm not using them, I don't know. Silly. So what I'm doing here is just trying to figure out, I cut one piece of sage and one piece of melon, and melon is our color of the year. And I'm just trying to figure out which I like better on it. So, you know, it's just like, oh, do I use the light side or the dark side? You know, which one to use. So it's like, and then I think, well, maybe I should just use black. And I don't like the black. I thought that was going to be really make everything pop a lot, but I don't like it. I usually like black. So I decided I'm going to use the sage. Excuse me, and I'm using the light side of the sage. So I thought these were squares. I mean, when you look at the sketch, they look like squares, but I couldn't figure out a dimension that it wasn't going to cut it with the square. So I made these they're rectangles. So they're 1 3/4 inches by 2 inches. And so that fit with, just about like around 1/8 of an inch, not quite 1/4 of an inch edge all the way around. So then I cut also some background pieces and I thought, well, maybe I could mix and match. No, I think I really need to stick with the same color for the background for the sentiment. And I'll tell you, I'm going to use the same stamp set that I used yesterday. It's the mini gnome I'm having a hard time getting things straight here. The mini gnome stamp and thin cut set. And, you know, I've kind of fallen in love with the little girl. She's so cute. And I love her little flowers. And it's just, these are just very, very sweet. And yesterday I cut, when I was cutting the, doing the die cuts, the thin cuts, I cut 2 of the things that I was using. So I already had a little girl cut out, the little gnome girl, and a couple of flower pots and a couple of watering cans. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and use those. And I'm stamping them in the intense black so I can come back and color them with my markers. So I'm trying to keep things clean as I go along with my microfiber cloth. See, and I love that little watering can too. I'm kind of like into the outside right now because Jim is in the process of building a keyhole garden, which we've been talking about for a number of months. We've been watching a lot of videos on keyhole gardening. And so we're both kind of getting the, you know, let's go out and plant some vegetables. He did real good with potatoes. We got a lot of potatoes last year. We always try to grow tomatoes, but boy, Texas weather is challenging for tomatoes. Gets so darn hot. But maybe they'll do better in the keyhole garden, so we'll see. I'm kind of hoping. That's sort of what they say. The keyhole gardening comes from Africa. A woman went there to do some missionary work. I'm trying to do a grass thing down at the bottom to put a sentiment on, but it is not coming around. I don't like the way it's looking. But so anyway, she picked it up from Africa, and they do it because of the poor soil and the hot conditions and hardly any rain. And so, you know, that sounds like Texas to me. There's at least in North Texas, we don't have pretty soil. When I lived on Long Island, we had pretty soil up there. Just take your hands, shove the dirt away. It was all loamy and rich, and not so much in Texas. But anyway, I like the way the card background is looking. It's just looking kind of, you know, I like the colors. I like the color combination that the Color Dare Color Challenge has picked out. And so I kept the Glacier on the one at the top with the dots is darker, and the one with the stripes at the bottom, the diagonals, that's also Glacier, but I made it very light to just be a little different. And so I cut, this is like a 1/2-inch piece, and there's some grass in this stamp set. That's cute, so I thought that I would put the grass there, and like she's out in the backyard getting ready to water her little pot of flowers. And I put there's the sentiment, thanks, that's just a one-liner, and it's small letters. So I thought I would use that in the midst of all the grass. And then I cut dovetails. So that's going to go at the bottom. There she is. There's my favorite little girl. She's just so sweet. So I'm using, I think, coral tri-blend markers, and I'm making a terracotta pot. And what else am I using? Antique. Well, that's the pale skin or something. Fair skin. That's what it is, fair skin. And this is an antique blue that I'm using, different colors from yesterday, with a little coral flower there. And then I've got, what color is that? Might be the citrus green that I'm adding. And I'm trying to use like the different shades, but still keep with the fact that the blue is, you know, close to the Glacier. Or maybe even the Periwinkle. Might be more Periwinkle-ish on the light side. So anyway, and I'm giving her a little coral apron. And I'm painting my flower, but I don't like the color it is. So I'm painting, that is getting a darker blue. It's a blue flower. And a green watering can. I used to have a green watering can. And then, of course, a coral heart. So, oh, it's dull green blend. That's what it is. And then the coral shade and vintage blue. I don't know if that's what I said. And then I'm thinking that I can, but it's no, that's just, I cannot do her hair that color. It's just wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. So fair skin blend. So I found a lemonade marker, and I'm not supposed to be using another color, but I didn't know what else to do with her hair. I needed to do something. So there we go. There's my little flowers, and there's my thanks. And I'm going to pop up the thanks and put it at the bottom of the rectangle there that's holding my little stamps. And, you know, I think that I'm going to pop them up a little bit with just some real thin foam dots, and, you know, that will be it. And then I'll decorate, well, it won't be it. I'll be decorating the inside and the back and an envelope. And I'm just going to put the girl on the envelope, but I'm gonna ink her in, I'm gonna stamp her in Melon instead of the black, because that's what I like to do for my envelopes. I usually like to do it in a color. And so there's the sentiment going on the card itself. And so there I'm just trying to get it straight and in the middle. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is add a couple of melon flowers to, they're like little, they're not sequins, but sort of like sequins, just little three-dimensional flowers to go on there. But they're melons, so they go with the color of the year. And I'm gonna do a little bit of splattering with my clear shimmer brush and just kind of add a little sparkle here and there. And just because. And I need to clean up. I've got a mess going here. So here's all my colors. And need an envelope. I'm going to take off, that's my craft mat, which just, you saw how easy it cleans up. I mean, it just one wipe and everything is all gone. It's really, really good for working on, especially when you're doing, you know, a lot of inking and you're going over the edges or you're doing splattering. Then you really want to use your craft mat for easy cleanup, because, you know, who wants to get out the sponge and work at it? So I'm putting on the inside, I'm going to put a You're the Best. That's also from this particular stamp set. And there's also a little bitty bird, and I decided to stamp this in Periwinkle because it's such a gorgeous color. Then I thought, well, the little bird could be a blue bird of happiness in Periwinkle, right? So we're going to get a little bird, so he's going to be a little blue bird of happiness. And you can't have too much happiness, so I gave her a little blue bird of happiness too. Oh, I've got an imagination. So here we go. Here's my colors, there's my envelope, there's my card, and there we have it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Thanks. Bye-bye.